כל השנה הלכות בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. בעזרת השם, the two mitzvot of the day is going to be this day, בעזרת השם whole week, בעזרת השם every day is sponsored by Terry and Jennifer Shemtov in memory of Jennifer's father, מלך מרוך בן אברהם. ברוך השם נגן בעזרת השם, ולרפואה שלמה כל עם ישראל, וכללם לחיה בת לאה. The first mitzvah that we're going to be learning today is mitzvah number 83, prohibition of taking a bribery, which is an Isur Doraita, and we'll discuss it a little bit. Mitzvah number 84 is going to be mitzvah shmitat karkaot. We have the mitzvah of let the land rest on sabbatical year. All right, let's go for it, guys. This side. Anybody wants to sponsor? We have a very big issue coming up. Issue number 10 is going to be distributed to all 138 shuls, B'ezrat Hashem. And the biggest complaint I got so far about this paper, not enough. The shul, everybody just hops in. This guy. So the 10th issue, B'ezrat Hashem, which is the next issue, it's not sponsored yet. Anybody wants to sponsor it in the Shmat? It's 1,500 pieces we're going to print, and we're going to go to all the shuls. And also, B'ezrat Hashem, it's going to help us up the car, the cost of B'ezrat Hashem. Mitzvah 83. Even if a judge knows this is the truth, he's still prohibited to take a bribery. Still, it's prohibited. Specifically, even if it's true. As it says in Pasuk Shmot, in Sefer Shmot, chapter 23, Pasuk 8, you are prohibited from taking any bribery. It's already also doubled. Another place where the Torah, it says over there that you are prohibited to take a bribe. It says in Sefer Devarim, in the 16th chapter, 19th pasuk. And it says over there the following. So the Sifri explains, even to make the person who is guilty, and to make, let's say you have the other side bribing you, say, listen, these guys are guilty, please take the money, find him guilty. You know he's guilty, so let's go, just finish up the case, stop looking for, what's his name, excuses, right? Or even, and if he knows that even the other way, opposite route, the guy is innocent, and somebody's paying him, just, finish up the case, do it quickly, before other people are going to come out. Usually, that's what happens. When you open up a case, one leads to the next. Like in America, it's the best thing. It is the best thing. The Democrats figured out the best way to get rid of any politician. What's the best way to get rid of any politician in America? Right away, huh?
Social media.
No, Me Too movement. Right? Me Too movement, you know what that is? They say, oh, this politician was mizaneh, he did avira with a girl. All of a sudden, right, the guy is there for 12 years as a governor of New York. All of a sudden, you have 15 girls coming up. Yeah, he did this to me 20 years ago. Like, what? Where were you till now? No, because not just him. Every politician, Democrats want to get rid of. They find something wrong with him with the girls all the time, and it's like, where were you till today? It's amazing it's amazing how it works. So, but that's the truth. The fact is, once you start once you start the cases, right away there's going to be other people. Oh, he did this, he did that, he did this. Oh, he really meant to do the bad, and everything starts up right away. So you understand why the guy is bribing the judge. Hello, Mister, you know the facts here. $1 million, close the case already. We don't need more. We don't need more situations. What is the point of this mitzvah? We're prohibited to take a money bribery, even to judge cases where they are true, the matter of fact. Why? כדי להסיר מבינינו ההרגל הרעה פן נבוא מתוך כך לדון בשוחד דיני שקר. So again, even though you might say, what's the big deal? Listen, the judge is working hard, and the guy wants to give him money. Everybody knows this is the truth. He's not lying anything. The rabbi says here, no. When you do that, we have such a thing that's called the problem. As people who know me hear me say it all the time. We are very habitual creatures. We like habits. We like to go to habit. Like somebody tells you, wakes up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, the net's at 6:30. You know what? If I don't come on time, I'm going to be late. I have to go find a different minyan. It's going to destroy my whole day. The person is very habitual, and therefore he comes and he runs and he throws everything away. And all of a sudden, he's in the shul in 10 minutes. Sometimes I wake up 1 hour before I come here, 4 o'clock in the morning. I feel I get this, and I come 5:03. Today I woke up 6:02. I was here 6:12 or something. because we're very habitual. That's what we are. We like our setting. You set up something for yourself and you like to go with it. But so the rabbi says that's the problem. The problem is if you take one-time shochat, it's going to go to a less real case and then completely wrong cases. The guy's going to judge. That's what it is. Midinei hamitzvot, ma shamru zechonam lebracha, as our teachers the Torahs, shahnoten v'hamekabel obrin belav. So there are two people who are transgressing the Avirah here, the one who's giving and the one who's accepting. The one who gives the money as the bribery, he is machshil, the judge. He is stumbling the judge, and that's the Avirah in the Torah, not to stumble a person. Okay, so it says over there that arur. Okay. So again, that's the word arur. Everybody loves this word as arur. And you look at unklus, it's late. It really means curse. I say if it's arur, why it's arur? Again, it's a beautiful thing. Very simple. Over there, it's arur. How people take shochat. And this is the proof that what I'm saying, arur does not mean really. The word does not really mean curse. It means something out of this world. What does arur mean? Just remember, eliminated. People, how do they take shochat? How do people take bribe? Everybody knows about it? Nobody knows about it. It's quiet. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises, if you take a shochat in privacy, arur, you will be illuminated. Everybody will know about it. This is how he touched the word. How do I touch in this pasuk? Because I'm pushing right now this whole concept. Arur cannot really mean the word curse itself, because why use it? It said 2 weeks ago, right? We used it in the parasha. Hashem says to Abraham Avinu, kalalecha aor. I don't understand. Kalalecha is curse. We all know kalel means curse. So why aor? Why are you saying aor? Say. Kalalecha akalel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu just could have said simply, if kalalecha akalel. If arur means kalala, why are you not using it? So obviously it means something else. And as we explained over there also, people don't curse princesses or kings openly. They do it privately. They do it in the secret. So Hashem says, aor, they're giving you ayin hara. I will give them ayin hara. I will eliminate all their possessions, and that way they will be cursed on themselves. That's so far my understanding of my explanation of the word arur, why it's not really curse. The word really does not mean maybe a blessing, but again, it's each in its own place. So see over here, you see again, the person who takes a shochat is also arur. Okay? ואחזיה ולהחזירו ושאסור לדיין להגדיל מעלתו לכמנת כדי להרבות שכר לסופריו. Okay? Now, the Dayan will make a lot of cheshbonot. Listen, we know the guy's innocent, or we know the guy's guilty. Let me take the $1 million. I could pay my employees, right? I have a yeshiva. Most of the Dayanim, they have a kolel. Right? So maybe he'll say, listen, I have to pay the kolel, I could raise up the seller, I could do a lot of things with the money. Baruch Hashem, the Eitz Hara has a lot of solutions. If you have any doubt, if what Eitz Hara does, the biggest rabbi in the world is the Eitz Hara. He'll find you all the Eterim and everything. The Torah says, no, ושאפילו שוחד דברים אסורים, לכך אלא יראה עצמו כאילו אינו משים ליבו כלל אל הדברים, אם אולי יכבדוהו בעלי הדין בדברים, אוקיי, כללו של דבר, אסור לדיין לקבל הנאה מבעלי הדין כלל בשביל דיניו. So this is what I tell you. Today's generation, I don't know what's going on. I find it that before the case starts even, right? Before you come to that's why I tell nobody, don't go to court. Follow the Beit Din. They start chatting, the other start chatting. Yeah, how you doing? How's your wife doing? How's your father doing? I remember your father was like this, and your grandfather was like this. That's called bribery also. What's going on here? It is unfortunately the situation we're in, that there should be no discussion. In olden days, like we said, even the Dayanim, the Nidonim used to get dressed special clothing to be in front of Dayan, not to sway the judge. Chas v'shalom. Right? You remember this very famous story of a Dayan in Yerushalayim. Dayan in Yerushalayim were sitting in the judgment. I forgot his name. And all of a sudden he feels that he was just a few minutes ago against the guy, and now he's on his side. He doesn't understand what happened. So he said, it was the Av Beit Din. He says, okay, everybody take a break. Take a few minute break. I have to regroup my thoughts. Okay? He took a break. And he's thinking his thoughts, what it is going on around to see what's going on. Anything happened? Well, how come? Just a few minutes ago he was against the guy, and now he's his best friend, like he's like biggest tzaddik. What's going on? So he sent his shamash, says, "Bring me my coat. Bring me my coat. Check out my room. Checked out the room, nothing there. Bring out the coat. Looked at the coat. There was 1,000 liros in his pocket. 1,000 liros. This was in early 1900s in Israel. He gets 1,000 liros. Somebody put in his pocket. Shochet Yavir Einei Tzadikim. You feel it. Don't worry. 1,000 liros is in his pocket. Hashem, it's in his pocket. It's already in his possession. The guy slipped it. Somebody slipped it on the guy's behalf. He said he recused himself. I'm sorry, I cannot be judged. In this case, and he let somebody else judge it. אבל אם הדיין הוא בעל מלאכה והתירו לו חכמים לשאול מבעלי הדין שכר בטלתו בטלתו במלאכתו בעוד שיעסוק בדיינים. So now you're going to ask a question. If we're not allowed to take this is a very famous question. You're not allowed to take a bribe, right? So how come the B'tei Dinim over here are allowed to charge? Legitimate question. How come they charge $150 an hour from each litigant? That's $300. Yeah, 3 judges, $100 each judge. What's going on? Huh? What? Right. But it's a question. How are they allowed to? Why we think the judgment is not going to be persuaded? Maybe one side will say we're not paying. Right? Everybody says we'll pay, and then they don't pay. So this is the question is why they're allowed. Very simple. Because if they are people who are they have a job. They have a job. Let's say they have a job. I don't know if today it's going to qualify because according to Chiduch, it's not so easy. They have to have a job somewhere else that they do work. Now they are leaving that work and coming to judge. Unless, let's say, a dayan is a part of a koilel, and every time he goes to judgment, the koilel takes off a salary. So in that case, he's allowed also. But if it's part of a koilel, and there is no cut in his salary, and now there's people coming to pay, there's going to be a question, according to the chinuch, at least. So that's what it says. So now, if the guy is earning $25 an hour working as let's say he works in the yeshiva. You have a lot of guys, but they're working in the yeshiva, whatever, it's $25 an hour. And he comes now all of a sudden dayan, or he's in the kollel. How much do they pay already guy in the kollel? Pay $10 an hour kollel, $25 an hour kollel. All of a sudden now they're charging this cases $100 an hour. It comes out, right? You have $150 an hour.
$25.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
My son getting in Israel with 500 shekels.
It's in Israel, but over here in Florida, they're paying $23 in this Faradim if you want to go. $29 an hour. And they tell everybody's complaining why I left. $23 an hour they pay. You want to be in Kollel? Baruch Hashem. If you're in Kollel,
500 shekels, which is like making
$150. You're right. Good. So Rabbi Moshe, your son, if he's a dayan in Eretz Israel and he takes away from Kollel, he is not allowed to charge more than 15 shekels an hour from the litigants. If he's making $150 an hour or a month, so how much money is allowed to really charge? So according to Chinuch, at least according to Chinuch, it will be prohibited for this crazy prices. It has to be for the salary of that he's losing. But most of the judges, Baruch Hashem, let's say the calculation that they make is very simple. A real judge in an American court, how much do they make? They make a lot of money. They could be making $150 an hour, these guys. How many hours of work already do they do? They make a good $150,000, $200,000 salaries, the judges, and they make judgments. They sit 4 or 5 hours a day, and maybe 3 days a week. They're making good money. Yeah. So that will justify, but that's the cheshbon that they do. I don't know if that's according to Chinuch will not be justified. According to Chinuch, it has to be whatever salary you're cutting down. You're allowed to that time that you're losing wearing judgment. You're allowed to charge the litigants. Okay, so obviously this Beit Din is only for males, and it's at any times you have to judge the cases. Now, what happens to the judge who takes bribery? Why doesn't he get lashes? It's like, why doesn't he get lashes?
He didn't do a physical act.
He did. He took the money. So what do we do? What do we say? Anything that involves money? Come on, Yitzhak. That's right. Anything that comes with money, you have to return the money. Don't get malkut. Get lashes. Don't get lashes. You just return the money. And there is no such thing as not returning the money. Money is always going to be returnable, even if you used up the money. What happens? Go work for it. Go work and pay the money back. And therefore, there are some instances where you're still going to be, even if the Torah tells us you have to return the item. Let's say somebody took the mother, right? You're not supposed to take the mother and the birds and the babies, and he took the bird's mother and the babies. Still doesn't get lashes because he has to return just free the mother. He doesn't get lashes. However, the Torah says over there, if the mother dies in his possession, then what happens to him? We get lashes. What? No, the baby is the mitzvah. Over there is the issur of taking the mother. Right, but now that he took the mother, he has to just let her free. So over there, the Chinuch says, if she dies in his possession, therefore he cannot fulfill the mitzvah of returning her back, right? Then he gets lashed. Okay. Mitzvah 84. Mitzvah shemitat karkaot. So we have a mitzvah, beautiful mitzvah, of allowing our land to rest. Obviously, we are a nation of holiness, and we are clinging and coming close to Hashem as much as possible, and every action we do as such supposed to show that. And if we are in itself, obviously we have to make our own cheshbonot to see if we are clinging to Hashem. As I told you, Chevre, if you are not growing over here while we're learning, go find yourself a Dibra Rabbi. It's not supposed to be like this. You're supposed to grow in any way, somehow. You're supposed to feel something. You're supposed to want something. Yeah, it's not obviously a first year you have to grow right away, but you have to feel at least inkling, I want to grow in holiness. Otherwise, what's the point of Torah learning? It's a waste. But that means you're not learning by the right person. So if you're learning by the right person, even from the first time you learn from the person, with the person, you're supposed to feel some elevation. Now, that's the whole point of us. Our nation is here to be elevated. So therefore, one of the mitzvot here is such. So imagine yourself, a person is growing, he's a multi-zillionaire. Every year his lands are producing $20-30 million worth of apples. Each land. Remember this one, our orange is $23 million, $30 million. He's making $100-200 million a year from his produce. Right? Forget, not to talk about all the bursa that he has in his Eretz Israel over there in Tel Aviv. He has buildings over there because he bought, and they're making all the money. Besides all that, he has a couple of $100 million in produce. And Shana Shviyit, this is the best proof that we are a nation of holiness. And some people don't understand how come Jews have rules, that benefit themselves, right? In certain cases, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has what can he do? Show me a nation. Show me a nation in the world that says all the fruit in the land is yours. Take it, free. 1 year, a whole year. Imagine that. You have such a nation. Besides this Rashayim over there just trying to destroy all the food, so the market always goes up. You know what they do in America. Every day they pay the farmers to get rid of the food, so that the food that you buy in the store will not go down because if there's too much influx of the food, the market will go down. Yeah, but what? Milk, Rashayim, Mamash Rashayim. And then they ask him, Eretz Israel, by the way, has the most production of milk. Why is that? Because of that reason. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, why should you spilling? They have a cow, they say like a cow produces 5.5 liters a day or something, where maybe, but everywhere in the world it's under the force, something like this. Of course, if you're in the world, if you're in the market for making business, and you don't care about the people, then that's what it is. And in Eretz Israel, if you're going to start Medinat Israel, if you're going to start playing that game, your milk production is going to go down also. Don't worry. Like in New York, I told you this many times. I like fishing all the time, so I go on the boat and you hear stories from the 80s, early 90s. So before this crazy regulations come in, you can't catch a fish this big, can't catch a fish this big, this way, that way. The crazy regulations. They say in the 80s they used to, every time they go on the boat, stripers. There was no regulations. Every boat came in, hundreds of stripers, mamish, and then they would sell it. The people would eat it. Right now, what happened? All of a sudden, then you can't get this size, that size. You can't even find that size in the Mono Ocean because what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, Hashem, we're going to control the environment. If you're going to catch too much fish, then the production will go down. The most foolish concept in the world. We are actually proving to Hashem that Kiviyachol, we're controlling everything. What Hashem does, boom, in an instant, no more fish. You think you're smarter? You're going to make rules and you're going to make regulations and you're going to make this and that. Nobody can explain it. So it should be opposite, no? If the regulations come that there should be more fish, then I've been catching. I go on the boat, 8-hour ride. You get one bite. You know what that is? It's not like
Frustrating.
it's not like you catch and then you see the size is wrong. Okay, send it back, right? Nothing. Since they made all these crazy regulations, nothing, no fish is coming up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, you think you're going to control my oceans? Somewhere now in one of the third world countries, they started, there was a fish. I don't know, the guy just pulls it out. You think he's going to pull out little, what's his name? What do they call it? Huh? Not snapper, you know what, one of those, the one that opens up his mouth big.
Catfish?
Whatever, little catfish, right? The guy pulls out. See the two tables together?
Leviathan.
He pulls out in a second. Edible fish, this long. And I started the report. Oh, just 5 years ago they were extinct, and the guys are loading up boats. The moment that they removed, now they removed. You could catch as much as you want. The boats are full of it. That's it. Kadosh Baruch Hu runs the world in such a way that He's in charge, not you. Don't think. So Hashem says, this guy, you made 120 million, 130 million, 150 million dollars worth of produce. Don't touch nothing Shemitah year. That's the whole bracha. Why do you think the whole year, other years, you make so much money? Because now we have a Shemitah, we have a 7th year, and we prove to Hashem that we are your nation, as it says in the pasuk, "V'hashvi'it tashmitena v'nitashta v'achalu aviyonej amecha v'yiterem tochal chayat asadeh ken tasa lekarmecha lezitecha." Pasuk says clearly, and on the 7th year you have to abandon it, and the land will be, all the poor people will eat from it, and also the chayat hasadeh, the animals of the fields, they are to be devouring from that. You don't touch it. ולשון מחילתא, and especially והלא הכרם והזית בכלל היה, כלומר שראש הפסוק שאמר שמיתת ותשמטה יאכלו כל מה שיצמח בארץ. So it's not just, you might think only grapes. The Rabbi says everything that grows, not just grapes or olives. בין פירות אילן או פירות אדמה. Well, what about the tomatoes and cucumbers? Also, anything.
But it's weird because those plants you need to plant every year.
Right, but let me tell you how it works. Sometimes what could happen is that when the workers work, they drop tomatoes, they drop cucumbers, and they squash.
The bad ones, they leave it there.
That's right.
And from there they grow.
That's right. That's right. So that was the reason I thought. I'm not a farmer, but that's the easiest explanation. I always had this question. Rabbi Aaron ask a good question. How can you have produce that grows every year that you have to plant, like tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers?
Here, you see all the eggplants, tomatoes,
right.
The strawberries. They planted everything. That's beautiful.
No, you have to plant them every year. So if you didn't plant them, how are they going to grow? Mm-hmm. So the only explanation that I could plan is a beautiful question. I have the question for every time I go to this parasha. So the answer is very simple. L'choira, that when they have gathered, there's things drop, there's the things that break in half, the things that go into the ground themselves. So within time they'll seep in, and then they sprout. So all those things, let them.
When they collected the tomatoes, they needed a lot in the floor. Like in each plant they leave 3 or 4 because they spoil whatever.
Or the squash, ולמה פרטן הכתוב שני אלה להקיש לכרם שאמר מיני אילן. So in order to teach you all the הקשה from the vineyard to all the other trees, to teach you that they also. האמת שכמו שיש בכרם עשה ולא תעשה, שהרי בפירוש נכתב עליו. So again, there is a prohibition. You're not allowed to go and gather it. So you're going to ask me what's going on, why you are allowing today, how are they selling anything today? Let's say etrogim is a very big question, big problem, etrogim. As you saw me this year, going crazy for etrog, because that's what I do. I don't know why, it's crazy. As I woke up, I was in the hospital, so my wife comes to me. Finally, it was a miracle that I opened up my eyes, like, okay. She's like, hi, yeah, Avram, you hear me? What's going on with you? I said, where's my etrog? Majnun, we just Pesach passed. We did not even pass Shavuot. She tells me, where's the yeah. Oh, he's not here. That's it. Because they told her I'm hallucinating. I'm going to be hallucinating. So that was the one thing. Was my etrog. And that year, by the way, my etrog was the cleanest in the whole town. I don't know how I got it. Somebody brought it to me. I think my friends over there, the Tzadikim, they actually bought it and then they sold it to me. So, Avram, we have 2 etrogim for you. Choose one of them. It's $300. I said, $300, no problem. I buy it. I bought a etrog for $300. I come to the shul. Everybody looks, the rabbi looks at it. This is a $2,000 etrog. We crazy? We'll give it to you. The guys are playing games with me. Anyway, so how do you do the etrugim? How do you sell etrugim? It's Shemitah here. You're not allowed to gather. What's there? So over there they do what is called, as we said also about the dayanim. It's called schar tircha, meaning you're paying the guy for whatever effort that he put in to exert it, gathering it, packaging it, and bring it to you. That costs money, the shipping and everything. I pay this year, and in the end, still we'd say we don't buying that. They'll sell you the lulav, they'll sell you the hadasim with it. I'll sell you a whole set, and part of the land they say the etrog is free. But reality, even if I pay for the etrog, it's still worth it. Why? Because my etrog that I paid with the whole set, I should say, I don't know, was it $360 this year? I don't know, whatever I paid. Very simple. My etrog came specifically from Eretz Yisrael the night before. The guy brought in, the guy flew in from Eretz Yisrael, went in there, he got it somehow, whatever it is. He got me one etrog. It was out of this world. He brought in. So if I would go there myself, how much would it cost me the etrog? At least $1,500. At least $1,500 to go there and come back. Right? I have to get a car service and this and that. So minimum. So I paid this guy for his tircha. He brought me a etrog, Baruch Hashem, this year, and I enjoyed the normal time I need etrog, Baruch Hashem. ושם מצווה לקבוע בלבנו לצייר ציור חזק במחשבותינו העניין חדשות בעולם כי ששת ימים עשה השם. Again, the purpose of this mitzvah, everybody understands. We want to show that Hashem, you are the boss, and we are nobody. And Bezat Hashem, we have to instill it within us, and that's what we do. ועובר עליה ונעל כרמו או שדהו בשביעית. Now what happens to the person who sinned and he did it? או אסף כל פירותיו לביתו בזמן שישראל עד אדמתן. ביטל הסזר, he gets he broke this mitzvah, ומכל מקום מותר לאסוף מהן מעט. However, since he's allowed to gather a little bit for his sustenance, ובלבד שתהיה יד הכל שווה בהן, כאילו אין לקרקע מעלים וידועים. Okay, so over here, the question is going to be asked, what do we do with this guy? Let's say the guy blocked off his field, nobody could come in there. Right? Nobody could come in there, but he doesn't collect himself. And no, he doesn't allow, so he's batel al mitzvot aseh. Right? And mitzvot aseh, we don't get lashed. Mitzvot aseh, we don't get lashed. So he gets avirah for blocking people from keeping the shmita, meaning one of the maybe he is doing shmita. He's just not allowing anybody to collect, meaning he puts up a gate, it's a big avirah, he's not allowed to do such a thing. So he himself is allowed to gather for his family to sustain himself, but again, to gather as a business, he's not allowed. And again, this is not mitzvah lo ta'aseh. We will discuss lo ta'aseh, what will happen in the case if the person breaks. But in this, that's why there's no lashes. Why? Because it's aseh. It's aseh, and therefore we don't get lashes. Please, Chabre, tell your wives, Tizkul Mitzvot, please continue. Mamash, we could learn Torah because of them. And Hatzlacha Rabah.